Hey there, we are here with the new EP of Pritom Hasan. We mentioned in our recent Coke Studio Bangla review video that we are going to review the tracks from the recent Pritom Hasan's extended play that he had. There are around five tracks in that, and we are going to listen to Paliye Jabo today, which is a collaboration with Masha Islam. He has been collaborating with Imon Chaudhary and Masha Islam in this particular EP. This track was highly requested as soon as it came on the scene. So we cannot wait but listen both the talented artists from Bangladesh together and see how it comes up. So shall we begin then?
Absolutely. Let's do it. Three, two, one, play.
জানি না কার কথা শুনে তুমি চলে গেলে বিদায় দেয়া সময়টুকু ছিন্ন
Signature
করে
voice.
আমিও
Also signature.
একই
Sound.
অভিমানে হয়ে গেছি চুপ শুধু তোমার মুখের হাসি ভালোবেসে নেই আর সুযোগ তোমার আমাকে নতুন করে পাবার তুমি তো বলেছিলে সময়ের আগে যে হারিয়ে যায় সে দামি পালিয়ে যাব আমার গতিতে খুঁজে পাবে না কেউ আমাকে আমি ফিরবো না তোমার এই শহরে এই হৃদয়হীনার ভিড়ে কত স্মৃতি তোমায় নিয়ে তাই ফিরবো না তোমার এই শহরে
কি নিয়ে বলো কি নিয়ে তুমি ডুবেছিলে প্রহরে কোলাহলে মাঝেও একাই আমি তাই তোমার কথা ভেবে মেনেছি আমারই ভুল শত শোকে বিষণ্ণতায় ভেসে বেড়াই
নেই আর সুযোগ কারো ভাবে আমাকে আবারও তুমি তো বলেছিলে সময়ের আগে যে হারিয়ে যায় সে দামি পালিয়ে যাব আমার গতিতে খুঁজে পাবে না কেউ আমাদের আমি ফিরবো না তোমার এই শহরে এই হৃদয়হীনার ভিড়ে কত স্মৃতি তোমায় নিয়ে আমি ফিরবো না তোমার এই শহরে
There's a lot of reverb in Masha. I love that, right?
পালিয়ে যাব আমার গতিতে না খুঁজে আর পাবে না কেউ
All right. All right. Uh, okay. Tell me, tell me why you wanted to hear this one first. I mean, we know Masha Islam is there, so
Naturally. Yeah, the it is going to be my first choice because obviously it has Pritam Hasan, then Masha Islam, and I think this is the first collaboration. Um, I don't know if they have collaborated in the past, so this was going to be my natural choice for this particular EP to go first. This, by the way, I'm listening it only the second time. I've just listened it to one time and not with good headphones at that point. But I enjoyed this particular track. I wasn't really, I mean, I am not really gonna say that it's too good or a masterpiece sort of stuff coming from Pritam Hasan. It is a good song that you can listen even while on a drive and enjoy it in isolation as well. Um, Now that I listen to it, first of all, I was taken by surprise when I listened to the first and second because it simply starts with the guitar strumming, simple guitar strumming, and I thought that it is going to a different route than what we hear from Pritam Hasan. But then those beats started to kick in, and it had that signature stamp, as you mentioned, of Pritam Hasan in this particular track as well. What felt a bit, I would say, a bit jarring to me in this particular track was I mentioned during the track as well that Masha's vocals probably had more reverb than Pritam's vocals. I felt that their parts were recorded separately and it was not a joint studio recording with both the artist in place. I thought that it was her part was recorded separately and Pritam's part was recorded separately and then it was stitched together. I think I may be wrong about it completely, but I think Pritam's vocals were more pristine, more in tune to the way the kind of audio that we listen to. Masha's part was feeling a bit more echoed. Maybe it was echoing a lot. I don't know why it was done. It was maybe done on purpose. There must be some rationale behind it. But overall, I enjoyed this particular track even after reading the lyrics, um, listening it a couple of times. I could think that this is a very hummable track that you can enjoy just casually. I mean, so that's yeah, that's pretty much about it.
Did you manage to look at the lyrics?
A bit, yes. I mean, it was Google translated version, but to me, it felt like it was a song about closure in some way. So I may be wrong, but it has the musical arrangement or the composition itself feels that it is not a sad song about detachment. It's more of a closure that, okay, I'm fine and moving on. It's that kind of a vibe that I got from the music itself.
Yeah, yeah. To me, when I first heard it, I felt that it's kind of like this playback singing, or
Mm.
suitable for a movie,
Yes. Mm.
where there's a backstory,
Mm.
and the two characters are either apart or getting apart, or just wondering what they did,
Mm-hmm.
or the lost value
Mm-hmm.
of each other is what they are wondering
Mm-hmm.
together at
Mm-hmm.
the same time. So they might have a temporary separation or whatever, and then they are
Mm-hmm.
realizing what they have lost and what was the value of it. Overall, yeah, I think there is a lot of simplicity in melody, a lot of simplicity in the beats, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, all the magic is mostly coming from Pritam's voice and Masha's voice, right?
Yeah.
Masha these days are everywhere, is everywhere, or at least in our heads, you know.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we are getting more stuff from Pritam. So recently, the Coke Studio track was incredible, epic,
Mm.
right? Yeah. So here, Pritam is more in his comfort zone. It felt like, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very very simplistic. I mean, not really simplistic vocals, but very suitable for this the what they are trying to portray, the meaning, the emotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too extravagant,
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah, music wise, again, simple beats, pretty, although very pretty. They go along with it very well. So overall, I do like this. I mean, what can I say? It's a nice song. It's lovely. Not my favorite from the EP. My favorite from the EP is the third or the fourth one.
Shish Opoha.
Shesh Opohar, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You
my
mentioned
favorite.
to
My
me.
second favorite is the fifth one that he has collaborated with Imon
Imran
Chaudhary,
Chaudhary. Mm.
right? This one is nice. There's this nice gradual entry into the EP.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The first, second, third tracks,
Mm.
and the fourth and fifth, they end very very high, very
I
high,
agree.
right? So this track super nice. You can, as you said, you know, it's you can listen to it when you're in a mood to listen to Pritam more, right? Yeah, yeah. I thought that the execution around lyrics and what they were saying, right, was done well. Also when you point out that Masha, the duet that was happening in the end in the last chorus was it felt like two separate places. Also you mentioned that it felt like it was recorded in two separate places. I thought that because I had this feeling that they want to portray that these two characters are separate, or you know,
Yeah, apart.
in time and place. They are reminiscing, or they are, you know, thinking about the partner
Yeah,
being in a separate place, and that's why it had that feeling.
could be.
That
Yeah,
especially in the last chorus you could feel that Pritam is
singing
thinking and
about, yeah.
singing, right, about that person in a separate place, and Masha was in a separate place, and that explains to me how that was, because if they were in front, the duet would have been more in sync. It
Yeah.
felt like not in sync, async. Not, I wouldn't say that it was out of place.
No,
It
it
was just
wasn't.
async, right? Async. You know, both of them together are thinking about each other,
Yeah.
and I mean, I thought that was brilliantly done. Masha mentions in the comments that she cannot wait to perform it on
Perform
the
it
stage.
live. Yeah.
We cannot wait to watch it remotely, of course, or wish to watch it here if that happens. But yeah,
I mean,
that's
that's a very good point that you raised. Now that I think of it, the echoing that is happening by Masha's voice is actually she is backing her vocals right after Pritam's verses. So it now feels okay. Now you could imagine that if you visualize the video, you can literally think of it that
exactly,
way.
exactly.
Yeah.
She's confined in a house, maybe, or just sitting in a
Elsewhere, yeah.
confined place,
Yeah.
right? And that's why the reverb, the echo is happening, right?
Yeah.
And Pritam might be in a field in an open area,
Yeah.
you know, the usual movie
Movie
kind of
kind of stuff.
scene.
Yeah.
So when you hear it, that's what comes to my mind naturally,
I'm,
right?
I, I think I'm actually intrigued about the messaging in this particular EP because I'll come to it when we review Shesh Upahar together. Because first of all, this playlist mentions that it is five songs with 80s nostalgic sound. So
Yes, yes,
they are intentionally having that beat. I think if you observe the beat, you can get transported to 80s instantly. They have done it this way. But I'm also intrigued about the sequencing of the tracks, the message that they have, and also the artwork. I wouldn't be surprised if Preetham at some stage comes up with a storyline like he did with, um,
actually, this is what I was thinking as well.
yeah,
So this whole EP must have a theme,
theme.
right, or a storyline,
Yeah,
a timeline where the first track happens on a certain,
correct.
the second, third. We've what we should do is, I mean, what we're not gonna do, but we should have done, or will should do is listen to it in sequence to
Sequence.
understand what's the story. This is not planned right now, unfortunately, but yeah, it must. By the way, now that you mention about the 80s theme, I don't know where you have read it,
It's
where
on
it's
the
written.
official playlist of YouTube. If you just open the
Okay,
playlist.
okay, I didn't notice that. I actually thought that this whole sound felt like early 2000s or 90s. You know, this again, the usual Bollywood movies comes into my mind, where this kind of music, this kind of theme was very prevalent.
True. Yeah, but let's wrap it up here. I think we are going to listen to the other tracks from this EP. You already mentioned Shesh Opohar. The last track, Shorgohara, I listened to it yesterday when you sent it to me, and I was blown away. It's probably one of my most favorite of this particular EP. We will someday review it. It's a
Yeah,
very small track, but We will.
Mine as well. And the one he has collaborated with Imon,
Him on.
the sound of it is incredible.
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 Hmm.
So we are gonna, yeah, someday we are gonna sit down together to listen to it together. But yeah, for this particular one, I'm intrigued. Maybe some of our viewers can tell us some background, or
Yeah.
again, they would understand it better because of the language barrier, right? So please do educate us.
Absolutely. We'll conclude it here then. Thank you so much, folks, once again for joining with us, and we'll see you on the next one then. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye bye.